everybody. Welcome to the Crafting Cafe podcast, episode 6, Ellie.
5?
It's 6.
Why does it say 5 on here?
It says 6 there. It is 6. I think it's 6. I'm pretty sure it's 6.
You're
episode
putting
6.
us up to fail, aren't you? Huh?
You're supposed to check these for typos. Episode 6. I'm Scott. This is...
Ellie.
And Ellie, if you don't know what the Crafting Cafe podcast is about, what are we? What do we do here?
We talk about crafting trends. We have guests on that are well known in craft industry.
We have an unbelievable guest today.
We do. She's a TikTok famous lady.
She's a social famous lady. She is a sewing superstar. Her name's Holly Dennett. She's on later on. Can't wait for that.
Be nice.
Have you met her before?
No, this will be the first time.
Ooh.
I've never seen her here.
Okay.
Before. This will, brand new, fresh.
Yeah, she's new. She's fresh. December onwards. Very good. 130,000 followers.
Oh. You've got it.
Nearly as many as us. Nearly as many as us.
I was going to bring on about your book.
What book?
Your little how to become famous on social media book.
So,
I like it.
Just to start here, I haven't bought a book to say how to become famous on social media. This book is a business book and it has a social media part within it. I read a lot of business books to educate myself, Ellie. What's the last thing you read? Twilight?
I actually read a self-healing book. Actually, thank you. Yesterday.
Well done. What was it called?
Kat brought me it. It was like different techniques how to.
What was it called?
Yourself.
What was it called? I don't think you've read this book. Did you read the back page? You didn't read a whole book in a day.
It's like a little mini book of
techniques. It's a pamphlet.
It's not a pamphlet. Do you know what a pamphlet is?
A brochure. Like 4
no,
pages.
It's
a pamphlet, isn't it? Right, I'm going to go ask Kat about this later.
It.
I might get Kat on here. She'll come on.
Don't be
someone go get
just
Kat.
because you're reading How to Become Famous.
I don't want to be famous. Also, I don't think that's a book, How to Become Famous. Also, you're just bitter because the one thing I put... Right, just to let you all know, everyone out there, I have access to the TikTok now. I have access. So get ready for some great content.
Videos.
Some great content. So... a trend, a latest release, if you know your favourite thing, ChatGPT. ChatGPT can now take images and make them into different things. It can render them into products. It's very exciting in the marketing world because people are taking a product, rendering it on a background, making millions of pounds, or so TikTok says. So I had 5 minutes on Saturday. And what did I do, Ellie?
He did something
Look at the Crafting
horrible.
Cafe. Look at the Crafting Cafe podcast on its TikTok stream. I need to put it on Instagram as well. Should really put it on the gram. You can do that later. We'll put it on Instagram as well.
It needs
tag
to be
Ellie
deleted.
I love Bob Ross. Do you know who Bob Ross is? So I asked an image of me and Ellie. I asked AI or ChatGPT to do a Bob Ross version of it. It was pretty fun though.
Yeah, for you.
What? Because I had a Bob Ross's hair. I look terrible as well. You didn't like it?
No, I didn't.
I think that's why she's picking on me. Is that why you're picking on me? Well, why don't you log into our TikTok and you can do something against me?
Because I'm not spiteful.
I wasn't being spiteful. I thought it was fun. I was trying to trend. I was trying to do the latest trends.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that equal to or worse than the dance you had to do?
Yeah. I would say it's worse than the dance with how it looks.
And just so everybody knows the full story of
Terrible.
this, I did ask for approval.
You had gone to the extent of putting music behind it, like whatever. So it wasn't 5 minutes, like you said, because you did it throughout the day.
For approval,
multiple pictures.
I asked for approval. No, the other one was us in a quilt. It was like a quilt style. That was quite good.
Oh, they're just all terrible.
You don't like them?
No.
Okay, sorry.
That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, so you didn't like that.
But
what have you been up to this week then? You didn't like what I put on social media. You don't like changing your image in ChatGPT.
No,
Are you still friends with ChatGPT?
Yeah, love it.
You still friends? What did you ask it last?
A little game that we're going to play on here.
Ooh. What, you asked it for a game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gave
you a game?
Gave me the inspo for a game.
Okay. Great.
It's going to be a good game as well.
Look forward to it. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Good story. Next up.
There is something that I've seen this week.
Cool chat, bro. Next up.
What have you seen this week? That's the cringiest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
I said some cringy things to you.
And that was cringe.
Was it?
That was cringe.
Oh, thanks for making me feel this big.
It's just, you know,
Wow.
had to be done after that horrible Bob Ross picture. Terrible.
Can we move on?
Crafting trends.
What have you seen?
It's
What's
called
trending?
a wheel play. You ever heard of it?
No.
Wheel play. I think it's like crockery or something on like a spinny wheel, and you have like marker pens and you create nice patterns with it.
Wheel play.
Do you want to see it?
Is it audible? Will it be okay? Can you describe what a wheel play is? Don't get it confused. Have you made sure that doesn't mean something either?
I'll show.
A lot of things that are said on this podcast mean something else. I'm a bit worried. So currently, it's a wheel that's spinning around. You put a pen in it, and it spins the ink around. So I'm just giving it for the, for the visual bit, for the audio people out there. That's pretty cool, actually. So it's like a Lazy Susan with a plate on, and it spins it around.
I think it's a crockery plate. Yeah.
A crockery plate.
So you can make your plates on that. Maybe you could do nice ornaments, possibly.
Love it.
With it.
Love it.
That's my crafting trend of the week.
Nice.
What is yours?
I don't have one.
Maybe that can be it.
My crafting trend of the week was turning us into Bob Ross.
Horrible things.
We should do that. We could do that. Add that to the list for Julie.
We still need to do our dirty pour.
We haven't done our dirty pour yet. No. Big dirty pour.
A
haven't done that.
pot.
A big pot of dirty pour. Liam wanted a big canvas on the floor, didn't he? And swing it around. He wanted a swing.
Are we doing that outside, though?
He wanted a dirty swing.
Maybe we can do it in the old garage.
The extension?
Mm.
Okay, maybe.
Make the floor pretty.
We could make the floor pretty.
Yeah.
Ellie, you've had a word. You've had something to investigate. It's part of the podcast where we investigate.
Scumbling.
We investigate a term that nobody knows what it means.
Hang on.
What was it this week? Scumbling.
I did get it, but I've spelt it wrong, so it might be a different word.
So, how have you spelled it? What does yours
Scrumbling.
say? Scrumbling. That's like when you go for apples, isn't it?
Well, it is a craft thing as well,
okay.
so maybe...
Tell us what that is then.
Yeah, tell
I
us
don't know what
scrumbling
is, but I know what scrumbling is. Scrumbling is in fabric art, so with Holly coming on as well.
Yeah, perfect for Holly.
Scrumbling is used to add dimension to textiles, often as part of techniques like tie-dye, fabric painting, and other surface design processes.
Lovely.
For paper crafts, it can be used to give a vintage, aged look to paper, adding texture to use in scrapbooking, card making, and mixed media art. So my word was probably better than the
And
scrumbling
how are you
word.
Spelling that?
Scrumbling.
Scrumbling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scrum.
As in scrum rugby. Billing.
Bling.
Scrumbling.
Scrumbling.
Okay. That wasn't the term you were asked to research,
No.
but that's fine. What did the term that we were asked to research mean?
Scumbling?
Oh, well produced. Well produced, producer.
Shall I have a little look?
She's asking.
I've got your word for next
Okay, right. We've got our word for
Oh,
next time, Ellie.
crumb-
I will spell it
okay.
right and get it right. Okay.
Yeah.
granulation.
Granulation.
Yes.
I feel like I know what that could be.
Jewellery making term.
Oh,
Try
no, I
it.
wouldn't then.
Try it.
No, I
Granulation. What's granulation mean?
I thought it would have been in crafting. You know how you can like do things with
I really tried to do a subtle swig then, and it was really loud. Sorry. Granulation.
God, forgot how.
ADHD.
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ. You put like sugar on a piece of paper, and you know you can do like ink and stuff like that. Creates texture. Bit of granulating of the sugar, maybe. Grains of sugar.
Well done.
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
Not at all.
Oh, I don't think that's for me.
I need to stop guessing what these words mean.
Guess where I go Friday?
Seattle. Is it Seattle?
Yeah, good guess. Well done. Yeah.
How long are you going for?
Till Wednesday. No, Tuesday night, but get back on Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah, Seattle.
What are you doing in Seattle?
Kurt Cobain's house.
Yeah.
Obviously. We're going to film a podcast outside Kurt Cobain's house.
Yeah.
Going to the very first Starbucks for the Crafting Cafe podcast. Should I take my mug? We need mugs for here
You
anyway.
can get it
We should
signed
get branded
in
mugs.
there.
I know we have, yeah. We need more cups.
You could take that and get it signed.
By who?
Dunno.
Kurt Cobain. He's not there
That'd be a
anymore.
bit.
No, I don't know what. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're taking the camera. We're gonna film some stuff.
Can you not give a little insight to what you're doing? Then?
Oh, sorry. So it's a huge craft show in America. It's called Creativation. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
We're taking one of the brands over there to showcase it to the American audience, as well as some of the North American audience, some of the Mexican, Argentinian. Lots of people come over for it. It's very
Nice.
exciting.
So it's big then.
It's a big event. Yeah.
You're not talking there, are you?
No talks. Just.
Are we
quiet.
allowed to know what brand you're taking over?
If you want to, Arden Creative Studio. We are launching the second release from Katy Perry over there, which is very exciting.
Is she going as well?
She's coming. Yeah, we'll see her there. She'll be on the stand. So if you are in the Seattle region, come along.
Yeah.
Say hello.
You'll meet. Who's going? Sorry, you.
Me, Hayley, Barry,
Hayley.
Deirdre,
Anyone else?
and Katie were meeting out there.
Nice. How long's the flight?
10 and a bit hours. I am not flying with anyone.
You're not flying with
I
anyone.
fly alone.
Are you?
Yeah.
How's that worked out?
Because I booked my own flight.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
I like flying alone. Hayley wants to fly alone. Hayley's really upset with the fact. I purposely put you on the flight back alone though, because I thought you need your own space. Hayley needs to recharge.
I hate. Oh, I just, like planes. I love flying, but the space on a plane.
Hayley needs to recharge, but she did say, "Are we going to have family breakfast?" Hayley does enjoy a family breakfast.
Where? What, in
So
the
when
hotel?
we went to Creative World with Liam and Julie and the others and Kat, we used to
Hayley wanted
have
was-
family breakfast. But me and Hayley started family breakfast.
And then they arrived, they were like, well, we'll have breakfast by ourselves. We were like, no, we have family breakfast.
They didn't want family breakfast with
No,
us.
we didn't have breakfast with
We forced them to have breakfast with us.
They enjoyed it.
Would you like a family breakfast?
No, she doesn't like
I
breakfast.
don't like breakfast.
After the last podcast where we said, "What's your favourite sandwich?" And that got picked up by our producer as, we're bouncing around on this
Undiagnosed,
podcast. Yeah, undiagnosed, which was clearly diagnosed. What's your favourite breakfast? Don't think about your health kick. What's your favourite breakfast? I could see you enjoying a full English.
I don't know,
Really? More of
No,
a,
I'm
more
not
of a croissant?
pastry.
A pain au chocolat?
Actually, yes. I'll go with that one.
Pain au chocolat?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say it?
No.
Please.
No.
Please.
Don't be spiteful. You've been spiteful too many times in the
That's
past
not
3 days.
spiteful.
That's not happening.
3 days.
Pain au chocolat.
Perfect. There you go.
I know. How mean's that?
What does that mean? I like
'Cause
an
you know I
almond
can't talk.
croissant.
No.
Almond. Is it almond or almond?
Almond?
It's almond you're supposed to say, isn't it?
Almond.
Good.
No.
Almond croissant.
I do like a Special K. Cereal.
Good work.
Lots of sugar on it. That's not healthy, is it? Yeah.
Counteracts the
exactly.
healthiness, yeah. Okay.
Do you like
so
porridge? What's your thought on porridge?
I like porridge. Has to have sugar or honey or
Porridge?
something sweet. Sugar, honey,
Porridge?
something
What about
sweet.
people put like chocolate on it, don't they?
I like a bit of that, yeah. Mix it in.
Wrong.
Sugar banana in there as well. Ellie, are we playing your game now, or are we
Do you want to play it now?
diving into Judge Julie?
Should we do
Julie?
the game? Julie.
All right, game time.
Excuse me, I don't want to be rude, but I am going on the phone. We're going to do a crafting would you rather.
Did we do this last week? No. Oh, let's go again. That was which terms are true term innuendos.
So,
Ellie's leaning into the mic.
sorry.
No, I like it.
Would you rather only be able to use a hot glue gun or only be able to use sewing for all your crafts? So basically to stick things together.
So the only way to stick things together would be a glue gun or sewing it together.
everything.
Everything together.
Even paper.
Can I do different variations of sewing it together though? So I can
I
hand
guess
sew,
so.
I can machine sew.
I guess so.
All right, I'm gonna go sew. I'm gonna go reason. Do you want a
Nah.
reason? No, you wouldn't
Yeah,
go sew.
yeah, okay,
reason.
sorry, yeah,
Because I think
reason.
it'd be as a crafter, it'd be a bit more authentic than just glue and stick. I think I get bored of glue and stick. Whereas sewing, I could use a machine sometimes. I could hand sew. I could hand sew again or machine. Yeah, it'd be longer. It'd take more time.
Probably more personal, isn't
More personal. Yeah, I'm gonna go sew.
it? Okay.
What would you do?
I would do glue.
Straight up glue. I could
Yeah.
tell. Yeah, yeah.
It's a shame that you can't switch it up.
Could you use different
glue.
glues?
But you could use
different
a hot glue
applicators,
gun
different different applications of glue. Pritt stick, bit of like
don't
needle
like a Pritt
glue.
stick.
Wow, who doesn't like a Pritt stick?
I don't
Everyone
like them.
likes a Pritt stick.
They're-
Why don't you like Pritt stick?
Sometimes it doesn't stick. The glue.
Okay.
The glue can dry up, and also when
We're
you
not going to
use
get
it-
a sponsorship from Pritt stick now, are we? I was really hoping for that
Maybe,
spawn from
maybe.
Pritt stick. Pritt stick, if you're watching, if you send us some, then maybe we'll. Yeah. We'll
All
get
right,
we'll get a new
Hayley.
host.
Jesus
We'll get a new
Christ.
host. The Crafting Cafe podcast sponsored by Pritt stick. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, but Pritt stick sometimes,
Doesn't stick.
doesn't always stick.
Okay.
So, carry on.
Wow.
Would you rather have an unlimited supply of paint but no brushes, or an unlimited supply of brushes but no paint?
Paint no brush.
But that makes no sense, does it?
Paint no brush.
Paint no brush. Why?
Because I just chuck the paint around.
You do
I'd dirty pour. I'd dirty pour everywhere. Whereas if I got a brush, what am I doing with a brush? I'd have to make my own
I
paint,
don't know.
and I don't want to make my own paint. That'd be strange.
Okay. Well, that's a good.
I was going to sneeze, but it made a weird reaction to my face. Sorry.
I wasn't even thinking that.
You laughed at me, though.
Would you rather only be able to craft with paper or only be able to craft with fabric? I think fabric.
Fabric, definitely. Nothing against my paper crafters out there, but I think I'd say fabric.
You saying that paper's boring compared to fabric?
You can have different textures of paper, though. There's all sorts of variety into paper. You know what?
There's felt
No.
paper.
No,
That's
I'm going paper. Paper. Change my mind. Sticking true. Paper.
Okay. Are you changing?
No.
I'm not changing.
You're fabric at heart, though. Are you saying fabric?
I'm saying fabric.
Traitor. Next up.
But there's felt paper, so that's still kind of in the
Yeah.
paper bit.
You're still saying there's fabric.
Would you rather have to work with glitter in every project or only be able to use neon colours? Glitter for me.
Neon. I'm sticking neon.
I think neon can look very strange sometimes.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
no,
Oh,
that's
wow.
your
I'm
opinion.
going with it. I'm going
Yeah.
with it. Cringe.
Okay,
So
should I
you
do
called
one
me earlier.
more?
I'll take it again.
One more.
Yeah, one more. One more.
Only make DIY home decor or only make handmade gifts for people. I like home decor,
Yeah.
so I think I'm going to go for that one.
Home decor then, yeah. Yeah, probably. I think home decor, let's go that way. Let us know which ones of those would you like on the Crafting Cafe podcast socials. What are we on? TikTok,
Oh.
Instagram.
I thought you meant the episode. for some reason.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, not on X. And I always mention it, but I'm just going to get an X account. No, we're not, are we? Threads. We should be on
so
Threads. So yeah, let us know which one of those you would like.
Spotify, aren't we as well?
Yeah, you could tell us on there. Comment on. Let us know what you
Listen.
want. Which one would you rather? Because it's about you, this podcast. Our viewers. All listeners.
We've had a lot of interaction recently, haven't
Coming
we?
up
But
next
that will be
is...
coming up.
It's good. You can link to the break if you want.
All right. Yeah, coming up after the break. Interaction with viewers.
Welcome back to the Crafting Cafe podcast. We have a guest, Ellie.
Holly Dennett.
At least you didn't call someone Hayley West who it wasn't Hayley West.
Yeah, I did do that.
Ellie's got a habit of calling people the wrong name.
Oh, it's scary. I know. I'm the same. I'm always there.
It's
pressure,
okay.
isn't
It
it?
is. I remember people, but names, it just. It's
Yeah.
Holly, I don't know if you know a lot about, but this is a bit. We're a bit all over the place here. This is what happens on this podcast.
Yeah,
It's a
listen.
bit. There's a few questions, and then we keep some sort of order, and then all of a sudden it will turn into potential chaos.
That's absolutely fine.
Okay,
That's what I like.
fine.
That's what I like.
Good.
It is,
Well,
it is.
yeah, you're allowed in. Then you're part of it.
Oh, thank you. I've joined the family.
You join the family. You're in. It's yeah. We've been. How long are we doing it now, Ellie? This is season 2.
It's going to be nearly a year
X6,
now,
so
hasn't it?
Nearly.
August?
All
About
started
August.
from a silly idea.
Is it? Is that how it started?
So I said I like podcasts. Then a collective said, "Oh yeah, we also like podcasts. Everyone listens to podcasts."
Yeah.
But there isn't a crafting podcast.
There
And
isn't,
then
I know. I
and
see
then-
there is a gap in the
Yeah.
market, but you're feeling
We're
it.
trying
I've
to
seen
fill a
it.
gap.
I know,
We're
I've
trying
seen
to fill a
it.
gap.
I've seen it.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly
Yeah,
but
it's
surely, we're
great.
getting there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of commitment. We didn't realise how committed you need to be, did we?
And also trying to think of new things every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that how often you film? Every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
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 But it's hard.
That's what
sometimes.
Haley's here for.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you
Um,
for having me.
Well, you're more than
Lovely.
welcome. More than welcome. Shall we kick off with who
Yeah.
you are, what you're up to, what you do, that general collective?
Yeah, I don't. Everyone says, "What do you do?" And I say, "I just sew on the internet." I don't know. I don't know.
Nice,
Oh, yeah.
nice.
It kind of So that's basically what I do. Sew on the-
Finish, cut,
Yeah,
let's
sew on
move.
the internet. No, that's how it started, I suppose. I started by just putting my sewing on the internet.
Yeah.
And things just grew, and then I get all these opportunities to come and chat with you guys and go on Sewing Street now.
Yes.
But originally it was sewing on the internet, and I was just sharing my sewing because I graduated from my fashion degree in 2020
Yes,
when there was
yeah.
no jobs,
Yeah.
obviously, in fashion. And I was still just posting my stuff that I was making, and it
Okay.
just
Amazing.
snowballed.
Where did you do your fashion degree?
UCA,
Okay.
in Epsom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Nice part of the
started in
world.
Croydon and then moved over to Epsom.
Yes.
So yes.
Croydon. My brother-in-law's from Croydon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I love
That's where I'm
Croydon.
from Croydon.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
lovely, isn't
Epsom,
it?
in
Love
between.
Croydon.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
between Epsom.
Some parts are nice, some parts. My
say.
brother-in-law shows me some parts that aren't that nice.
Yeah, Epsom's.
Epsom's
really
lovely.
nice. Yeah,
They
Epsom's
moved to
lovely,
Epsom.
yeah.
They literally bought a house in Epsom. Now they live in Worcester, but they bought a house in
Oh,
Epsom.
lovely.
It was lovely in
Yeah,
Epsom.
it's
Yeah,
nice
lovely.
in Epsom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I studied in Epsom.
Okay, yeah, say Epsom. Epsom's much
Epsom's
better, much better.
Yeah.
And loved it, enjoyed it. Was it always a
Yeah.
passion to do that? Or?
Yeah, basically how it started was that I had sewing as my hobby.
Yes.
Alongside my old job, which was a special needs nanny. I worked in
Okay.
care for, like 10 years,
Amazing,
maybe. And I had it as my hobby, and I was just like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn pattern cutting, and I thought
Yeah.
instead of just doing you can do courses, you can do
Of
great
course, of
courses,
course.
but I thought actually let's just go. I'm like an all or nothing
gonna do
person. I was
it,
like, I'm
yeah.
just gonna go to uni. I was like, I haven't done it yet. Off we go.
Why not?
So I just studied fashion because you learn everything in
Yeah,
fashion.
yeah.
So you got pattern cutting, all the everything. You have to do so much. So I decided. So I learned pattern cutting, illustration, all those sort of things.
Incredible.
And and I wanted to go into pattern cutting as my job, but with COVID, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I took another path of sewing on the internet.
And here we are. And here we are, sewing on the internet.
Yeah.
And what was your plan when you started sewing on the internet?
Yeah.
Was it just fun, or
It
was
was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Basically, how it started when my second year of uni, they said, well, this is back in a bit. It was like 2018, 19, when not so many people were sewing on the internet. They said, Instagram or social media is alongside your portfolio, because obviously you create a portfolio to go to jobs, but people want to see you on the internet as well,
Yeah,
so
of
they use it as a secondary portfolio. So just start uploading things. So that's what we were doing, like preparing for graduation. And so that's why it was always my name, because a lot of sewing people have fun sewing names, and I'm just Holly
It's a
Dennett.
good name though. I think it's a good name
Yeah,
already.
yeah, I like it. And
That's good.
It's a good
start.
so I just kept uploading a few things. At the start, I was so scared to put myself. I wasn't on it. I was just putting up my
Yeah.
sewing,
Projects and
my
everything.
That's tough, isn't it?
projects, And then it just snowballed to that. And actually, I got how it actually turned into something was I had a fabric sponsor for my graduate
Amazing.
collection.
Nice.
And then because we didn't finish our graduate collection, I didn't go to Fashion Week because of COVID. They said, by then I had about 2,000 followers.
Okay.
A nice
Brilliant.
following.
Yeah,
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 it was like
brilliant.
nice and intimate. And they said, we'll send you £20 worth of fabric if you still want to sew. And I said, okay.
Okay,
I had to
yeah.
shield as well, so I was in the house, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, my options are very limited right
Yeah.
now. So I just kept posting, and it's sewing. It's like if you don't use your skills, you lose it.
Yes,
and you learn
yeah,
so
yeah,
much in
yeah.
a degree. So that's how I was posting, and then the following grew so rapidly. I went from 2,000 to maybe 100,000
Amazing.
in like a year or so.
Can you remember
Wow.
that? Was it a video? Was it selections of videos?
It was
It's-
basic-
The
it was-
algorithm's weird. This
Yeah,
world. Who
yeah.
knows?
It was basically when Reels came in. So I
Yeah.
hit it
Okay.
at the right
Yeah,
time. I
yeah,
had
yeah.
time to make.
Can you remember that first reel then?
Yeah. It
And
was
then
my-
the emotion to
yeah,
it. You were like,
was,
what?
I was so
Yeah.
my friend was like, oh, this one's trending. Why don't you do this? And I thought,
Yeah.
oh, God,
And what
I
was
can't
it?
do it. It was a flash. I can't. It was like I made a linen top and short
I
set,
think
which
I've
I'd
seen it.
which
I've
I
seen it.
draped,
Yeah.
and it was like back then, you know how everything trends, isn't it? It was like very like quick. But all the fashion girl, clothes were doing it. No one was doing that sort of thing in sewing. And then my friend did it, and I was like, said to me, "You should do it." And I said, "Oh, I don't know about that. I can't be putting my nose. It's too scary." And I was like, "Oh, we'll just do it." And then that was one of them. And it just, I just hit the trends for your niche.
Yeah.
And things like cutting, like time lapse, people cutting fabric. No one was doing that at all. I'm not claiming I was the first one, but I was the first one.
I'm claiming but I was.
Claim it.
Clearly, Holly, you were. Like we're saying.
Yeah, so it's always things you just hit new trends. And I was in a niche because there was some great home sewers who were sewing patterns but then if you worked in industry, you couldn't post what you're sewing because obviously you're in industry. So it was a certain niche, and there was a few girls, there's a few Americans that were doing it exactly the same time as me, and we are all like similar following, where it's like you just do a bit of elevated sewing. That's quite inspirational. But yeah, it just sort of just took off. But I remember at one point it was like I was opening my phone, it was like 5,000 followers, and I was just like, whoa, this is really, really scary. And I was still applying for jobs.
Of course, yeah.
And I was like, oh.
How do I turn this to something?
No, but like other jobs. And I was like, this is
not to do with...
No, nothing to do with social media. I was like applying for... I got internships and I got a really good job. And they said to me, you're going to have to... I maybe had like 50,000, 60,000. And I think I'd already worked with one brand. And I thought, oh, this is quite fun. This is interesting. Not for, no one had really done it in the same industry. So I was like, I don't know if it could be a thing. And they said to me, okay, well, we want you to be for us. So you're going to have to delete all your social media, blog, everything.
Oh, no,
and I was like,
I don't think that's for me.
No. And so my fiance was, I was like, oh, what do I do? And he was like, well, we were in a position that I could just try.
Of course.
So I said no, and that was scary.
Okay, yeah.
And another internship came up for an amazing brand, and I was like, nope. And then it just continued.
Brave.
It was brave.
Yeah.
It all just happened at the right time,
I think you've got to,
I feel
haven't
like
you?
that could have been
to.
so easy, couldn't it, to be like, you've got such a good internship with this brand,
but
then you've worked so hard to build up your social media.
It was like I was posting to do it, but like after a while, I was like, oh, this is fun. But then when you see those followers, you're like, actually, maybe this could be. I don't know, but no one had a bigger following at the time, so I was like, I don't know if it could be.
It's really difficult, isn't it? Because it all came out so quickly, and I think for a lot of people, and it sounds like you kind of went through it as well, it's what do I do with this? And how do I carry on this trend?
And it was so new for the social media industry within sewing that people were sending me loads of free stuff, but being like, oh, do this. So it's navigating it. How do you turn it into a business?
And how do I keep it in that it means something to me and it's not me deteriorating?
Yeah, and it's that fine line of you. Obviously, I really respect my following because they're real people, and it's like monetization, but you're trying to tell the brand to be like, it's got to be gentle. It's got to be gentle, and you've got to respect that. It's a fine line of educating the sewing brands, which everyone I work with is lovely.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah. So it's just a real funny thing that I never thought was going to happen, but I just sort of rolled with it. I learned a lot about social media, then how to work with brands.
Incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
So
it's a huge journey, an amazing journey.
Yeah.
And now do you have kind of like a structure to how you do it all now? I suppose as you've got through it must be content is it's ever emerging, isn't it?
Staying on trend as well.
Yeah, this is the thing. I always had my business plan. I knew exactly where I was going and what I wanted to do.
Good.
When I had my baby girl, I went from working like. At that point, I was working as if I was being paid, but I was working for free.
Of course.
It's like, you're building a business as such. Yeah. And then I had my baby girl, and then all the opportunities happened from all the work I did. So now I work part-time, like maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and just be more condensed and more like work out what I can and do. But I worked loads to build it.
Yeah.
But it is like a structure. You have to work it all out. And
how old's your daughter now?
Nearly 2.
Oh,
nearly
awesome.
2, yeah.
Awesome.
So I had a good... Yeah, it's like, for the first sort of 6 months a year, just sort of maintaining, like still doing stuff, and I was doing amazing things, but
it's incredible. It's good that you can be able to do that whilst also bringing up your daughter as well, because that's the world has changed so much. For so many people, it was you have to go and have a family and live a life, and you can't do these things, you can't go and work, but I know it takes time and effort and energy, but it's been incredible.
Yeah, I always think I'm a bit like the Hannah Montana of the sewing industry.
Definitely.
Living my life on social media.
Two separate lives.
And then when I can, but we work it like my fiance works shift work, so when he's off, I work, so we just mix and match it, which is I live the best of both worlds. I spend so much time with my daughter, but then
You get your release.
I get to go
your
and do some fun
separation.
things.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
obviously
make-
go and sew.
Make little nice outfits for and things.
Everyone
like that.
asks me this, and no, I don't.
Don't
No.
you? Don't you?
I was going to say, but I wasn't going to answer that
No.
for you. I just having two children, two young girls. I just know
they
it's
grow
just
so quickly.
yeah. So all the effort and energy.
I
would be-
started it the first 6 months. I thought, oh yeah, I cut it all out, and then I was like, I didn't have time to sew it. And then she grew out of it. I made her first birthday dress.
Okay.
Nice.
I love that.
That's good,
That was
yeah,
nice.
yeah, that's like
and
a
I think
thing,
that's
yeah.
going to be
yeah,
the thing
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And now she's not growing as quickly. We might.
You
I think
might
as she gets older,
start,
yeah.
like-
Yeah,
maybe,
dresses, you know,
yeah.
the walking is a bit easier. But I would like to, but it's just time element.
Yeah.
It's a time element. But I would love to. I would like to do some more.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the passion for sewing in your
Yes.
previous career, was it within there as well? Can you remember the moment that you knew, I love sewing's for me, I love this?
Yeah, basically, I've always been like quite creative. Like
Yeah.
I always had my thing. Like in college, I did art, I did product
Mhm,
design, all those
mhm.
sort of things, purely because I didn't have to do any writing.
Likewise,
And
I
I
did
was like,
exactly the same.
yeah,
Exactly
this
the
little
same.
thing. You think, oh, I'm actually quite good at it, and I can maybe get a good mark.
Yeah.
But, but I never thought. Yeah, I think maybe it comes down to my education. I just thought if you did art, you had to be an artist. And I was
Yes,
like,
yeah, yeah, you
I
do,
don't want to be an
yeah.
artist.
think
And
you
there
definitely do.
there was no like, and I love clothes, but never put the two and two together. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I can make them. Anyway, so I was always been creative, and my mum's always been creative. And I went to like a fabric, big craft fair
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I saw some fabric, and I thought, that's gonna be my thing. So I wanted a hobby, but I just didn't know what my passion was.
Yeah.
You know,
Passion
like
can be.
I could draw, but I was like, I don't love it enough to sit down and draw all the time. And I saw some fabric, and I thought, yes,
That's it.
and then that's how
it.
it.
And then
And that's, yeah, that's how
brought
it
them
did.
together.
Yeah, my
Amazing.
mum could sew, and she had a sewing machine, so that did help. So she did teach me the basics, and then we just sort of just continued basically. Yeah, from there. So yeah,
Love
no,
it.
exactly.
Can you remember your first project that you did and you were like, wow, that is it?
Yeah, I had a few mismatched projects where like you buy a sewing pattern and I bought the wrong fabric, and I was like, well, this
Yeah,
didn't come
of
out
course,
right,
you go
and
through
it,
it.
and it was a bit disheartening because you're like, oh, okay, that didn't work.
can't
Why
do
is
this
that?
again.
Yeah.
But then I started making a few children's clothes, and I had a craft stall for a good few years when I was in my old job.
Yeah.
And I really like making the little dresses,
Oh,
and I made
nice,
like
nice.
cushion cup, those
Nice.
really nice things. Yeah, I remember that. But it was when I got to uni, and I really like making gowns, and that's when I learned gown and pattern and draping. I love draping. So yeah, that's what I really remember.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And now, Holly, you're where aren't you? Hey?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
There's so much going on.
It is a
And
bit,
I
yeah.
don't want to out it here, but a load of things you're working with brands on as well in terms of fabrics and different stuff that I've
Yes.
heard. I've heard through the Sewing
Oh,
Street
really?
team.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's allowed to be spoken
Oh,
about
of
or
course,
not,
yeah,
but who
yeah,
knows?
it's coming. Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all coming.
Yeah, we've
And-
got a fabric collection coming in. It's shipping in May, so
Yes,
May,
yeah.
June. Which is a 10-piece collection with cotton craft, and we're now working on the next spring
Which is
collection.
incredible.
Yeah,
Do you,
so
can you, again, we've asked a lot about that, but can you imagine that happening when you first went to...
no, I remember the first thing. I remember when I first started, I thought, God, it'd be so cool if I could go to a fair and
Yeah.
got a free ticket. Like, I
Yeah,
thought it'd be
yeah,
so
of
cool.
course, yeah.
And I was like, God, can I imagine if I was on a sewing pattern? And then when Sew Over It said, oh, do you want to be a model? I was modelled a few of the patterns. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness. And then it was like, oh, fabric's
Next
always
step,
been
the
in my
next step,
head.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have like a thing that I want to, it's always in the next thing that I would
course.
like to do. But fabric was a big thing. That was really fun because I did all the drawing, and obviously they guide you. Because that was like my first collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did all the drawings and then the colours and the
Amazing,
mood boards.
amazing.
So yeah, I got 10 fabrics coming.
Very
And then we're going to
exciting.
be working on the next one for next spring.
Very
So
exciting.
yeah,
Very
that'd be-
busy then.
Yeah, I know.
God.
I know.
How do we fit it in?
I
How are we
know.
fitting it all?
I know. And until now, I've just literally put a deposit down on the studio. I've been working from home, and it's just been
amazing.
like
Amazing.
chaos. There's sewing machines and fabric everywhere. And Rob, my fiance, is just like, I'm so happy you're getting the studio.
You're in
Because I've,
space.
I've
I'm
had
delighted by
enough
this,
of this.
yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
enough. Because I get sent stuff as well, which is lovely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Rob's like, where's this going? I'm like, oh, it's lovely.
We'll find a place for
We'll
it.
find a
It's fine,
place.
yeah.
And then obviously my old sewing room is now my daughter's room, so
Yeah.
that took a big transition.
Nice.
So yeah, it's very exciting. We're gonna have a studio. I might not be in
like
it
it.
every single day, but the stuff can live in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can have organised chaos
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and that
but
can
I'm
be...
a very organised
Yeah,
chaos. I'm
but
not
likewise.
I
precise.
feel
Yeah.
like I'd be so... There'd be fabric everywhere.
Yeah.
That's me,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's part of the style, though.
Yeah.
It's how it's supposed to
yeah,
be, I think.
I would love to be an organised person. Like, my dreams would be like, let's be organised. It never
I think that's how it's supposed to be. It's where creativity comes from, isn't it? Just grab something. I'm going to use that.
I'm going to
That's
do it.
next.
Off we go.
The thing that I'm like that, but the biggest frustration I always have though is I beat myself up about not being able to find something. You're like, I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there, and then you like start taking everything out. And
like
then
half the time I'm trying to find something. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is this pattern
Yeah.
piece or some scissors? And I have to grab another
But
pair
in my
of
head,
scissors.
I'm like, I know that's where it is.
Yeah, as soon as I tidy up, that's when it all goes.
I feel like we were on about this the other day. I was saying, the messier I know where something is, I could just grab it.
I'm the
But then
same.
once
So you're
it's
better, you're more
yeah,
organised
but
than
then
mess.
once I've tidied everything, I'm like, where's that
worse.
now?
Yeah, where have I put this? I know.
I do a lot of, you moved it. You
Oh,
moved
but you're
it.
a
It's
blamer.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
you're
a
it's
blamer.
me.
You're one
Yeah,
of
I'm a
them.
blamer. And I've clearly moved it somewhere. Yeah, it's not good.
So, what inspires you with your designs and everything?
Oh, it depends. It depends. I like to look at a lot what's going on in like the fashion world, like high fashion. Obviously, I don't do everything just from that, but it's quite interesting to see what the world is. Because I was like, originally, like my first sort of stuff I did was to try and merge like fashion and sewing, because they are very separate, like the fashion industry and like high fashion. So I sort of took some inspirations from that, and I used to really love making gowns and interesting things. Now my time is so limited. I wish I could just sit down and make a gown for 7 million hours, but I can't do that now. So it depends what's going on. It's more what I love, like my style. That's what I like. Yeah, I just sort of just see something. You have to wait for the inspiration to come to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
important.
If I sit down and be like, I'm going to draw this and design this, I can't do it. I have to
No,
wait for
get
it
like
to,
the block.
yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
comes across as well. Like, I think as long as you're like solid in that's what I want to do, that's what I stand for, it comes
Yeah,
across.
I
and
think,
that's-
yeah, I am very like, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And off I go.
And that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I think with sewing, it's so nice because you can just
Yeah.
do that. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
You've got like
yeah.
the freedom with it, haven't you?
Yeah. That's what we were just saying on the show earlier. Like, you know, you can design, if you want to make a pocket a different way, you can do
Change
it.
it. Yeah, you do it. You do that.
So it's fun. I do.
We say
love
that a lot here because I think a lot of people watch what they see and go, I need to do that. But that's not what it's about.
No,
It's, you
no.
go and do whatever you want.
And that's what I always say, like, you know, how many 130,000 people who follows me does not, no one likes every single thing I make,
Yeah,
like you just don't. But I always try to show, if I show skill or inspiration or pattern, then at least people can then take
That
a little
and
bit
then-
into their own sewing and
Yeah.
be like, oh, we could do this, or, you know, or this skill is higher than my skill level, but to get up there I can do this, you know. It's like inspirational sewing. That's what I like. Just share the creativity. That's all it is.
totally.
Yeah, that's
If
what
they
I like.
take a little bit of what they see from you and then go and learn that, then that's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
all about-
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being creative is so good.
Yeah.
For your brain
Totally,
and
for
your
everything.
mind,
Yeah.
and it's just
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I think a lot of people here, it's a happy place to be because it's creative. So I think that's generally what it is.
Yeah, I
like
think that's,
it's just
it's so nice to be around creative people. Just,
totally.
and everyone's so open-minded because
Yes, yeah.
everyone's creative in their own different way, so they're very respectful of that. You know, again, like I say, it might not be your style, but be like, oh, I can see where
You can
you're
see
going,
it,
or you know,
yeah.
if you like it, then
And
that's
I
all
think
that matters.
that's with fashion as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone has such
Yeah.
different styles, but
Do what fits, do what like.
Yeah.
Do what you like. Don't
Exactly.
let anybody
Yeah, I think that's
question
what's
that.
nice. Just go and do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I like.
How have you found the TV element of it? How have you found Sewing Street? It's a
Yeah.
strange curve, isn't it? You're like,
Yeah,
oh, now I'm live.
I was, yeah, I know. My mum said to me, she's like, do you get a practice? And I was like, she's like, you don't really practice. And I
That's
was
the
like,
part,
I
the
don't.
live part.
Yeah.
I know, I was
yeah.
walked on and I was like, okay, right, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was daunting. It was like putting your microphone on. I was like,
It
oh,
is.
Yeah.
because it's a whole different audience.
The countdown as well, if you had that. The we're having 3, 2,
Yeah.
1. You're like, oh.
it's so different
Oh.
compared to filming on social media in a way, isn't it?
It was more that I don't have the control. Like
Yes.
when I film
Yeah, yeah,
myself,
yeah.
I can be like, oh, I like this angle
Yes,
or not, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, what am I doing? Where's
Yeah.
this? But yeah, it's fun. It's just
I think you've
fun.
been a natural to it.
I really, I
yeah, I
hope
think
so.
you've done. No, I think you've come across
Yeah, well, I do-
incredibly.
You do end up, you know, you talk about sewing all the time. That's
Yeah.
what I do. So I just think if I'm just do what I'm pretending I'm in my living room just sewing.
Yeah,
and then
that's
and
what they-
hopefully it's okay.
No, well, that's what they're there for. They absolutely love the fact that it's very natural, it's very normal,
Yeah.
and it's. I think within the first 5 minutes you forget that you're live, don't you? If it's anything like me,
yeah,
I
I do.
forget.
Just let's have a chat, and you know, everyone's so lovely. Like the presenters to talk to. You know, you need. I like that
Yeah.
chat
You forget
element
that you're
as
kind
well.
of on air, don't
Yeah,
you?
I think just remember that my camera's over my head, not hit. You know, and
Yes,
I'm not in
yeah.
control, so I'm a
Yeah.
bit like, oh, am I in shot? But yeah, I think it's been really
And
fun.
Good.
Do you feel like the hour goes so quick when you're
so
on?
quick, so
Yeah.
quick. Because sometimes it's like, oh, what am I gonna feel and do. And I'm like, oh, it's ended. Like today, I looked up and I was like, oh, it's 59. I was like, oh man,
Well,
I was
that's
nearly
the time,
done.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay,
We're finished
fabulous,
here.
off I go.
No, it does go quick
That's
though,
what they
doesn't
do.
it?
Oh, yeah,
That's
really
the
quick.
fun of it.
Really
Yeah,
quick.
it is fun. I do find everyone said to me, is it scary? So I'm like, no. Do you know what the scary bit is? I'll tell you what it is. It's being organised enough to make sure that I arrive here in the morning with all my stuff
Yeah.
prepped.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
prepping that
Yeah.
stresses me out.
Yeah.
Because I think, well, because I live so far away, I'm like, well, if I
I
haven't got it,
yeah, I haven't got it.
I know,
It's not
I'm like, oh
happening. Yeah.
gosh. But yeah, it's getting that all cut out and ready.
And how long have you been on Sewing Street?
December was my first show. End of
Wow.
December. Yeah, we've done
Amazing.
one every month. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And have you found your followers have gone up from
Yes.
coming on the TV
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. It's often when I come off and I open my social media, then I get a lump of followers. Not and it's nice because the actual people.
Yeah.
You know,
From different
yeah,
bits,
because also my following's all around the world, so it's
Yeah.
actually quite nice. Not against any other countries or anything, but it's quite nice to see the people who are watching me follow. So
Totally.
yeah, it's like compliment. Oh, people
And you can
like
see
that.
that, like some of them may have profiles and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you can have a little
Yeah, I love
look.
it. Have a
Yeah.
look.
Oh,
I
wow.
know, yeah.
How
Yeah.
how do you keep talking to them, Holly? I know it's really difficult with 130,000.
What,
130,000.
followers? Yeah, yeah.
So I know
Do you know
through videos, but
Do you know what it is actually? People are less approachable when you have more followers.
Yeah.
But I had similar, like the interactions and messages are very similar from 30,000 to
imagine,
100,000.
yeah,
Because people,
yeah.
people at the show the other week, before I went on to the Sewing Street
Yes,
stand,
yeah,
a guy came up and was saying, "Oh, I follow you." He was part of the competition.
yes, yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I thought." He was talking. I said, "Oh, well, if there's any," he was a young sewist. He was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like, and I said, "Well, if there's any questions, just message me." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Really?"
I
Like,
can
I was
do
like,
that.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Of course you can."
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, sometimes people think that you see the number and suddenly you're not a real person.
Of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it is nice to chat. It is nice to
Yeah.
just chat to me. Like I like talking about sewing. It's all I do.
And I'm sure
so.
there's ideas that come from that as well, or little things that if someone
Yes,
says, we always say
yeah.
that, like, tell us, because then we know to do something different.
Yeah.
Like, or if it doesn't quite work, or can you do this? And then it gives you inspiration and ideas
It
as
is.
well.
It's so nice. Like someone messaged me the other day saying, "Oh, this is my local fabric shop. You know, maybe give it a shout out." And I was like, "Oh, I'll have a look at it." And it was actually in my local area, but obviously I don't say where I live because
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting," because I didn't know that was
Yeah,
there. So
yeah,
I was like,
well,
"Oh, definitely
here
go
we
and look
go.
at that." So yeah, so it's really nice to see what people are doing, and
Amazing.
yeah, it's just fun.
Love
yeah.
it. What's next, Holly? Do you have a? It sounds like you've had stepping stones throughout, and there's is there an ambition? Is there a fabric collection's obviously incredible.
Yeah, the
That's
fabric
huge.
collection. I want to the patterns. I
Yeah.
got 3 patterns out before I had my baby girl,
Okay.
and they were like a push. I was like, we need to get these out.
Yeah.
So they're out doing their thing, but I want to kind of step and. I haven't
Okay.
done a lot with that since. So I do like patterns, but they're a huge amount of work.
Course,
So
yeah.
I need to prioritise what I'm going to be doing. So fabric.
Yeah.
Patterns, Sewing Street now, which
There
is
you go.
lovely.
Amazing.
So I got my studio, so it'll be a little bit easier to work now. So
course.
it's now
Yeah.
give me a little bit more.
And that opens up
Elevate.
so many
Yeah.
doors.
It does,
to
yeah.
that
So my
as well,
content would be back to like
Of
fun
course.
sewing,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, some tutorials. I'd love a book. That is
I
what
was,
I would love
so
a book.
I was gonna say is
I
book
would
on the
love a book.
horizon. That was gonna
Yeah, I would love a book.
be was gonna be a question.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work.
That is a lot of
That's
writing, a lot of work,
Yeah.
lot of- yeah.
I would like to do about draping. So I think there's not enough
I
about
don't
draping.
think there is, no.
Yeah, I
Let's do
love
that.
draping. So that's the idea. Just keep doing fun
Keep
things.
going there.
It's being locked in a room for
Yeah.
long enough to be able to do a book, though, isn't it? It's the time and the headspace.
Yeah, because it's trying to work out what you can do with a baby. Because
Totally,
Yeah.
because
Can I just keep writing?
yeah, literally on my phone while
Yeah.
she's sleeping.
Secretly writing notes.
Yeah, so I'm always saying that I'm not very good at writing, so I need to work on
There's
that.
lots of
Get
different
people to
ways
check
to
it.
talk. Just talk into it. It's fine.
Not very good. It's just not my passion,
Mine
shall we
either.
say?
I think-
No,
I think-
and if it's
but-
not,
I
it
think
can be hard,
dictaphone,
can't
talking
it?
to your phone,
True,
and
yeah,
then
but
could do that.
I would like it. I would like a book.
I think that's
Mm,
feels
people
like a
have
natural
mentioned
next
it
step.
to me,
Really-
but
Feels like a natural next step.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, just
Um,
fun. Just these fun things come up. We'll see what
we-
comes up.
We do something on the podcast, Holly. Now
Yes.
it's a new thing.
Oh.
It is crimes against crafting.
Yes.
So,
Ooh.
do you have any things that you know? We're
Would be a
being quite
crime?
gentle at the moment, but for instance, a crime
Give
that
me
we've
an
had before
example.
could be using the wrong scissors for the wrong purpose.
Oh, big crime.
Like someone
Big
like
crime.
taking your scissors and cutting pizza with them. I've gone extreme.
Yeah, you
but
don't
you
want
know,
that, do
No,
you?
like,
that's extreme.
so we've got ourselves a Judge Julie. She just comes in and she just condemns the crime.
She sentences them.
She sentences them to time away from crafting. It's very
Oh,
extreme.
That's extreme.
But, yeah,
God,
but
very professional.
So
Yeah.
what would your crime be, and how long would you sentence someone for?
it's not a crime that you've done. It
Is
can
this
be a
the
crime
type
that like
that's-
just something just triggers you.
Triggers me.
You're just like, don't do that.
What is that? Sewing over pins. That really bothers me. I'm like, oh, it's dangerous. I know if it's a date, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
dangerous there.
I've been on
dangerous
air
there.
and someone said, don't sew over pins. It was Debbie Shaw. Debbie Shaw definitely was like, don't sew over pins because you don't know where they can go.
And I go ping. Like,
Yeah.
I've had, that is that's the first thing that pops
Okay.
into my mind, but I need to have another think. But
Yeah, no, you can go
yeah,
away
people
and
say
think.
it's fine. I'm like, oh, it's risky. It's a risky game. It's a risky game.
I didn't realise how much
happens
for
more
crafters
often then.
the scissor
Yeah.
one's a big thing.
The
Pinching
scissors
scissors
is
and
massive.
using
Yeah,
them.
no,
for-
yeah. My
that is
fiance's always like, oh, is it? I'm like, don't touch them.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of scissors. I get
course.
sent. I've got about 30 pairs of scissors.
Yeah.
I have a lot of scissors.
And he's picking them up doing all sorts
And
of
he's
them.
just like, can we get a space to store these scissors? But he's just
Now
trying
you've got
he's
your
trying to
studio,
chuck them.
though.
I will, yeah. I know. Yeah, so I've got 3 dress forms. Rob's like, yeah, let's get rid of these. Like,
Yeah, they
wait,
need to
is
go
it all
somewhere,
going?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I got
phase.
sent some nice new irons, and he was like, do we need 2 irons? I said, yes, we do.
Yes, we do, yeah.
Of
Just
course.
Stop asking.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll
Yeah.
be 3 at
So,
some point.
yeah. I think there's mainly crimes again. Let me think. There's nothing too much, but I think it is the pin thing.
I think we
really.
probably all do some ourselves as well, but I'm going to
Yeah,
keep those one secret. Don't want people to know.
Well, sewing wise.
No, just general crimes
Oh,
for
general
crafting.
crimes,
Like,
yeah.
I think I do some. Like, remember when Julie bought the die cut machine out and I put the plate in the wrong way? That was bad.
Oh yeah, that's
that
bad.
was
Yeah,
that
don't
was
know.
bad. Yeah. So
That was a crime.
that was a crime.
You should have been condemned for
I should have
that.
been condemned. Shouldn't be allowed to touch Julie's machine again.
Exactly. No.
No.
I feel like sewing over pins, maybe a lot of people do
Yeah,
that. Is it
yeah.
kind of like a shortcut thing?
Yeah, I think it's just like let's just go. Let's stay. It's
There's
you
fear for
can
me,
go.
isn't
You can
there?
go
There's a
quickly.
bit of fear for me
You
in
can go
it.
quickly if it's all pinned in. If it's vertically, you can just get sew, not like take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out.
Yeah.
Or picture something that people always comment on, and I try my best. Like I try, but obviously pattern cutting, and sometimes I only film like part of the
course,
cutting
yeah,
process.
yeah.
People are like, oh, you waste that fabric. And
Ooh.
I'm like, like cutting. I'm like, no, I'm using it. I
I'm
just
gonna use
didn't.
it,
I
yeah.
couldn't.
You didn't-
I couldn't
Yeah.
share the whole hour of me cutting. Like, calm down, everyone. So I get told off
There
for
you
like
go.
that. Like, God, look at her. She gets free fabric. She gets... I'm like, no.
No, I don't. I'm
I promise I don't waste any of it.
Wasting
There's
it.
going to be a video next.
Yeah, you
which is
should,
you using all the fabric. This is
literally-
exactly what I do.
Yeah, literally, there's one of my patterns that it's kind of like a very long thing, and then there's a section that comes off, and then someone's like, "Oh God, look at she's wasting on that." I said, "No, I'm cutting it into binding. I just
Oh, there
haven't
you
got
go.
there
Don't worry,
yet."
everyone.
I'm just not showing you that
Yeah,
bit.
but it was. I do get a few comments like, "Oh, look at her wasting fabric. Oh, look at her bigging herself." I'm like, "No."
No, I
Promise
do
I'm
it.
not
I just
wasting
can't
it.
show
I don't
it.
waste
Yeah.
it.
Just
I'm
can't
not
show-
a big
That's
waster
not how
anyway.
this works.
No.
You can't show it. Holly, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
thank you so much.
We've
for
loved
having
having
me.
you on.
Yeah, it's been fabulous.
I've
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you so
Ellie,
much.
do you loved it?
Yeah, I have. I don't know much about sewing, but it's nice to
We've
hear
spoken about this, haven't we?
it, yeah.
John's offered you, he's going to help you to produce on Sewing Street. He's
Yeah,
going to look after
he
you.
wants
So
me to,
John,
come on, so maybe.
yeah, when John
Maybe,
came on a couple of
maybe.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe do it when John and Holly are on together.
Yeah,
There
that'd
you
be
go.
nice.
Definitely.
That's the show
That'd be
then.
so fun.
You nailed up your show already. You
Yeah,
can
there
just
we
plan
go.
it.
I just need.
I'm
I
up
just
for
need a day now.
Ellie's
look, put me
takeover,
in.
John,
Put
Holly.
me in.
There you go.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sorted.
Yeah.
You'll have a great show.
Can't wait. We'll have to find a day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Join us after the break. Thank you so much, Holly.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Crafting Cafe podcast. Our judge is here.
Hey,
Judges in the house.
Court,
Judge Julie.
court is in session.
Yeah.
Julie, it's gone viral. We've had a lot of comments.
Yes, it
A
has.
lot of comments, Julie. People are hitting up our phones.
Yeah.
We've found
We've found
something
Oh,
that
yeah.
our niche.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's you. You've always been the star.
No.
Now we're finally putting you on a
done
pedestal.
many
Yeah.
things.
We're giving you the responsibility you've always deserved.
Thanks.
She's been many things,
It's been many things.
and now
Yeah.
she is this.
You could
The
still
judge.
actually be on jury duty, but you're not.
No.
You're on jury duty here.
Here, yeah.
This is your duty.
Permanently.
This is your permanent crafting
Residence.
duty. Residency,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What's the saying?
You're the
of, like,
headliner.
if you can't go to the court, bring the court here.
Yeah.
And we brought the court
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
It's
have
Judgment Day.
to. Ooh. We're going to have to consult some messages we've had in. We're going to have to
Okay.
consult some paper.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of comments.
We have, and yep, we're here to serve justice on
We
this.
are going to serve justice. We're just going to have a few shout outs to
Have you
start
seen
off
that?
with.
Yeah.
We're just going to shout out Amy Dodds, who is
yeah.
Amy Dodds Designs is very excited about Judge Julie in the feature.
Yeah.
She's very happy about it. She thinks it should stick around. I think we all
Okay.
agree, Amy.
Yeah.
We all
love
agree.
Amy.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah,
Amy, if you've got any things that you want to condemn to court,
Yeah.
bring them forward.
let us know because
Think-
I feel like
I feel like Amy-
might have
Amy
a
will
few
have a
in the
few.
bank. Yeah.
I feel
Amy,
like
have a
everyone needs
few.
to go and have a look on Amy's TikTok as well.
Yes, she is an incredibly
I
talented
think she's
lady.
got some of her projects on there as well.
Yeah.
Here you go. Spawn for Amy. Everybody look at
Yeah.
Amy's TikTok.
Yep.
Amy Dodds
Yeah.
Designs. There you go. Lovely.
DODD.
D-O-D-D-D. Lots of D's. Next up.
Yes.
Moving on.
Crime condemn Scott.
Guilty.
Mississippi on the podcast. Again.
Guilty.
I've sworn twice on the podcast.
I know, what's going
Oh
on?
no, sorry. Right.
First word as well.
I'm too comfortable. I'm waiting for you to bring this
Okay.
along. What's next?
We've
What
had
other
a
comments
lot
have we had?
of comments
Yeah,
on
what's the
Instagram.
next one?
Give me that hammer.
Go on. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Okay. The next one is from Funky Needlework on TikTok. This is a crime. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
My auntie went to visit her grandchildren, and when she returned, her husband had been busy and had needed her fabric scissors to cut carpet.
Oh.
There was almost an actual crime that day.
Yeah.
Carpet is fabric, though.
Yeah. I
But
don't
you,
see-
no.
I'm not joining in, Julie. I'm
No,
not joining in with her.
Yeah, there would have been a crime in my house if my husband had done the same thing as that.
What's
I have
the-
to say.
What would be the period of time that you would condemn them for?
Well, last time somebody got 6 months.
Yeah,
Is that a
like,
6 month-er?
I feel like
I feel like
I feel like
I
it's
feel
in
like we'd have
between.
done that though.
Would you?
No.
Well, it's like fabric, isn't it?
I feel like husband and wife give him what he doesn't like for tea.
Oh, nice.
Take away the good stuff.
Take away the good stuff, give him the bad stuff. Ban on dinner.
Yeah.
If you like
For
steak,
for
no.
at least,
you're getting,
for
you're
at
getting
least
tuna.
a month. At least a month. Yeah.
No steak for you.
Yeah, he is guilty.
Guilty. Sorry, husband of @Funky Needlework
Yeah,
or
yeah,
partner.
Yeah.
You are not getting any.
No.
Good
stuff.
Anything. No. You're in the doghouse.
Oh snap.
Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
Another. Have you set me up? Have you just set me up?
This is what I was laughing
Have you
just.
set me up?
This is the actual.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, it
This
is.
is a stitch up.
There is a. This is what I was cackling
Okay.
for.
Right.
Silence in the court.
By the way, I love your name.
Another TikTok comment, and I hope this isn't a setup, but another TikTok comment. This is from @BoobyLady on TikTok. To me, anything which uses prefab plates is a crime. But then again, I could be wrong. Crafting is for everyone. Happiness and enjoyment is the most important than drawing ability. My bad. So she
Yeah.
thinks
Anything with
prefab plates is a crime.
What are prefab plates?
I don't know what prefab plates are.
Are we talking soft crafting? Prefabricated plates, maybe? I don't know.
I
Booby
don't
lady, we're not
know.
quite sure what you're.
No. Yeah.
What? Could you
But
message in again and let us know
Let
the
us
details?
know. Yeah, but I'm in agreement with you. It sounds like it's a crime, but crafting is for everyone. But we'll adjourn that and
Adjourn
hopefully
that one,
we'll
yeah.
get some more
we need,
information.
We need a little bit more of information to take it to
Yes,
court,
definitely.
Booby lady. But after that, we'll
Yeah.
take it forward.
Yeah, let us know.
Free time.
Let
I
us
think I
know
might
and
be
we'll-
cancelled today.
It's a username,
Yeah,
and it's a good one.
she likes to be
Strong.
Booby
It
What's
stands
the
out,
username?
doesn't it? What does it say on your sheet?
I can't read that. Okay, perfect.
Next.
So the next one is Sue.
Oh, okay, come on. You get @Sue on TikTok. I get Okay,
You
right.
chose to be
Anyway,
first.
I-
Shout out
next
Amy.
up, yeah, you knew that was going to happen. I think Hayley's put that in that order
Oh,
on purpose.
Did you not hear me cackle?
No. Okay, next up, go on.
Sue has said, Being too lazy to root in the sewing room to dig out the paper scissors and cutting paper patterns with fabric scissors.
Sue.
No,
Oh,
no,
Sue.
no.
It's all about scissors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scissors are topical.
Yeah.
She does put there she's guilty as charged, and
Oh,
she is guilty
Whoa.
as charged.
that was forceful.
We've said it last time. Using the wrong scissors is
Sue.
100% a crime.
Sue, how long would you give
I
yourself?
think, yeah.
Well,
I think at least
A couple of weeks, I think.
the
a
husband
month
had a
span
month.
on the use of scissors, because that would pain me. So I'm assuming as a crafter you need your scissors.
I think a couple of scissors. Couple of scissors? Couple of weeks, I think. Couple of weeks, maybe.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've had another one on TikTok. TikTok, it's blowing up on TikTok, isn't it, Julie? This is where the judge is at her
Yeah.
in her
Prime.
comfort zone. It's prime on TikTok.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Little bit
Maybe you
TikTok.
need your own TikTok. Judge
Just
Julie.
Julie.
Judge Julie.
I reckon
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
good.
At Judge Julie on TikTok.
Okay.
That
There
would
we
be
go.
good.
This podcast is ending. We're setting up a new one. It's just Judge Julie. Okay, so Hannah Ferriby? I'm going to go Ferriby on TikTok. I once asked to make a little crochet animal, but I didn't have enough stuffing to finish. So I cut into my housemate's pillow and took the stuffing out to make it an elephant. That is brilliant.
This is a confession.
That is a confession. That is a different part of the podcast
Yeah.
we're happy to
You have
do.
confessed to the crime there.
That is not a crime. Well, it's a crime that
That
you
is a
committed
crime.
it.
is.
But
I
I think you can still carry on crafting.
Yeah.
I think that's happy. That is
I
what
don't think
crafters do.
you can't
You
do
need
that to
it. Go
someone.
get it.
Yeah. No, I think you can't.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
you can't do that to
You
someone.
can't
Sorry,
steal
Hannah.
somebody else's
Oh, I'm okay with that,
materials.
Hannah.
Oh no,
I'm
I'm
okay
not.
with that.
But
I'm
imagine if
not.
it was your pillow.
I just use the other one. Everyone has two pillows, don't they?
No.
Some people don't.
Oh, okay.
And I have a favourite pillow.
Yeah.
If that was my top pillow that I sleep
Hannah,
on,
I
yeah.
applaud it, but I think
No.
the judge is
That
going to
was my
condemn.
whiplash
I
pillow.
am.
The judge is going to
Hannah,
condemn
I
it.
think that is guilty.
She's down.
How
You-
long? That would really annoy me, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, would it? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
going to say 5 months.
Wow,
Yeah.
Hannah. That's a
Yeah.
long time.
But I
It's
also,
just not
Hannah, can you
kind.
please let us know what your housemate's reaction was? Because that's also what the question I
I
want
want
to
to
know.
know now, yeah. Did he
Were
realise?
they really annoyed?
Did they realise?
Please let us know.
I don't think they realised.
Yeah.
I don't know how much stuffing you use, to be fair, out the
Well, we
pillow.
need quite a bit. Right, next
Yeah.
up, Sue Langford. You going to read this one, Ellie?
Yeah, it's to you, Scott.
You read it then.
I need to know, Scott, what does your tea alarm sound like at Jumporia? Crimes against crafting. Watching Great British sewing bee contestants using rotary cutters give me the heebies every time.
Ooh. And that's on primetime television.
Yeah.
That's they
Sewing cutters?
condemn the whole of the Great British
using
Sewing Bee,
rotary
Julie.
cutters.
Yeah, let's make friends
How come
here.
you can't
We're
use rotary
condemning the whole program.
I think, is what Sue means, are they using them incorrectly?
Why could you not
Yeah.
Is she thinking that, it gives her the heebies because they're not using them right?
Dangerous.
And it's
Dangerous,
quite
yeah.
He's quite fearful on TV to watch that
Yeah.
because you can cut through rotary cutters. If you've used a rotary cutter, sharp,
Yeah.
so sharp.
Looks like a pizza cutter?
Yes.
Yes.
But honestly, I don't know why, my brain wanted to spin it.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
don't
Did
do
you?
that.
yeah. And there was a big cut
No,
of my
that's a
finger.
crime.
Yeah, I know.
Don't do
Oh, you
that.
cut your finger.
Yeah, I've just been. I don't know what happened to my. Yeah, Sue, I believe
good.
you. The first bit, Sue, we don't really have a tea alarm. We should have a tea alarm. What do you think it should sound like, Sue? Let us know. There is a tea club that I'm not involved in, isn't there?
Yeah, they've
Gets
got
larger and
like a
larger.
little-
Haley's involved. Ooh,
Are
Haley's
you in
involved
tea
in
club?
it.
I've never been asked to be in tea club.
No, they don't ask us.
Just saying. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
tea club?
They all
They
have
make
tea
tea.
together at the same time.
We have to make our own.
What do you think the siren should sound like?
Get me a cup of tea. Do you know who I am?
Yeah. Get me a cup of tea.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
you should use your buzzer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could sound like that. There you go. It could sound like that. There you go. That means I want tea.
Yeah.
I'm not really a tea person
No.
at work, but well, coffee anyway.
Yeah. And you
Thank
need
you,
to be
Sue.
specially trained to use the coffee machine because
You
it's
do,
a very
it's a-
expensive one and I'd be too
You know
frightened.
how, though.
I kind of do.
You made a coffee for our celebrity.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
That
yes,
one
I
day
have
texted
made.
you.
Yeah.
I said a certain person's in. Will you
Yeah.
make?
Yes, I have made.
Yeah, when Sarah was in, I texted Julie.
Yeah,
I said,
Sarah
I
Dane's
said, I
coffee.
said, Sarah's in, Julie, and I'm not there. Can you make her a coffee?
Made
And then
it.
Julie was like,
Yeah.
on
Did
it.
she like it?
It's on it.
I don't
There was a
know.
photo. You went
Yeah, she
social.
did take a photo of me, just
Julie
as
treated
proof
me.
that I did what Scott asked.
Yeah. Tick a box.
Yeah.
Will you just take it?
Yeah.
Julie was like, you just take
Yeah.
a photo of me to prove that I did that.
Yeah.
Made you
Yeah.
a tea.
Yeah.
Ruth, who used to work here, used to hate my cups of teas that I used to make.
I imagine they're bad.
I used to do like all different
Sloppy.
weird things like to them, and then give it to her on air. And she'd be like, "Oh, I don't know whether I could trust that or not," but it became a thing, and it was really funny, to be fair. Like I'd put like, I don't know, different like 3 tea bags or something in one, or like the one popped and I gave it to her on air,
Oh,
like
is that the
pretending
dancing?
like I'd done
Oh,
another
no.
one,
Oh.
but it was funny.
What's in the tea next? We've
You
had
did-
another one that Julie's got
We
in.
have. I've wrote it down. This one was from Facebook. It's Helen Whitelock. This is one that makes my blood boil. I have to
Ooh.
say this, Helen.
This has been
I
live
am
condemned.
with you, and I have been in this situation. So she said, when you pay for a table at a craft event, so a craft stall,
Okay, yeah.
you get there, and it's a jumble sale basically.
Ooh.
So people are selling stuff for like 50p and a pound.
Oh, no.
You're trying to sell your hard,
Your creations.
yeah,
the things
you know,
you've
the things
made,
you've spent
yeah,
hours making, and you get there and they only want to give you 50p for something.
Oh.
So in
You're
a
not a jumble
poorly
sale.
organised craft events, guilty.
Guilty. I think
Yeah.
this might be, I'm just putting it out there, I'm just guessing, this might be the longest sentence we've had.
Oh yeah, I think that you should
The
be
longest before was
banned
6
from
months.
holding an event for at least a year.
For life.
I'd
yeah.
go
If they
higher than a
can't-
year.
Would you?
Yeah.
If they can't organise an event properly, they shouldn't do
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
I think there's 2
shouldn't
separate
hold them.
parts to this. There
Yeah.
is a craft events for selling your makes.
Yes.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
everyone's there
Yeah.
with incredibly creative things.
That's right.
And an audience goes to that.
Yep.
And then there is a
A separate
to
door.
sell
Yeah,
retail products.
that's right. It's great if
Don't combine
you know,
the two.
Raising money for charity and you've got a jumble sale for that, fine. Don't bring the craft stuff to that. The other thing that also makes my blood boil on that is also when you go to a craft fair and they give several people the same stall, so your chances of selling things are slim because they've got like 10 card stalls or something.
Okay.
I like it so you've got different crafts,
I think we're
lots of variety.
We're digging in.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
digging
But
in
yeah,
to
poorly-
our judges.
yeah.
Our judges
Poorly
bias
organised
here.
craft events, guilty.
A
Yeah.
year. That's the
Yeah,
longest
a
sentence
year.
we've had so
I'm
far,
saying,
Julie.
Yeah, a year, and then I feel like even then, maybe somebody
year
needs
and a
to
day.
check up, make sure they're running it right. Ban them again then if they're not.
I feel like this is what the judge should go around doing.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
check.
Condemning craft events.
Love to see
Yeah.
Julie like
With a
turning up.
clipboard,
Someone-
checking what stalls they've got.
Who runs this event? I'd like to talk to
yeah.
them. I'd like to talk to the owner
Why
of
is
this
there
event.
2 of the same stalls?
Yeah.
Not happy about this.
Yeah. You don't want somebody's old teddies
No.
with your
Oh.
nice hand-blown glass or whatever you've done, do you?
Too
You
mu-
know. No.
Too much?
No.
Too much.
Oh, terrible.
Julie, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Judge.
Julie,
Thanks.
Judge, Julie.
Keep them coming in,
Yeah,
please, on the
let us
Crafting
know.
Cafe podcast socials, on
Yeah.
TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook,
Yeah.
on YouTube. Please keep commenting. If you see any, comment, because our judge is ready to condemn them.
Yeah.
She's ready to give them time,
Yeah.
send them down.
Yeah.
Crafting confessions, maybe?
Yeah.
That can be a
Yes,
let's go. It
yeah.
can be confession. We can
Yeah.
condemn that.
Yeah.
We do all sorts here.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
But whilst we've got the judge, before she makes it famous and leaves us, we need to you really use her for you know some good stories. So get them in.
Yeah, definitely.
Ellie, that closes ep 6. Episode
know.
6 is off.
Thinking it
Done.
was 5 as well.
Yeah, Ellie thought it was 5. But it's episode
Well,
6.
can I just
Yeah.
say, Hayley had put 5 on the sheet.
Anything else you want to say before we close?
Thanks for watching and
Thanks for
commenting.
watching. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy it.
See you for episode 7. We
Yeah.
got a guest. I don't know who it is. Do we have a guest?
It is Barry.
Oh!
Yay!
What was that
Barry. My dad.
Barry?
My dad, Barry. Right. See you for episode 7. Peace.
Bye.